Welcome to your next lesson. In today's lesson, we're going to cover how to get your child on board with taking the cleanse that's recommended if you have a very defiant child. And let's say the scenario would be perhaps they're not defiant, they just don't like it and it's hard for them to take it. So I know there's a few different reasons of why your child may not want to take the cleanse. And so we're going to be talking about how to get them to take it so that it is effective. You want to make sure that your child is going to take this cleanse, the lemon tonic cleanse, to start, and then setting them up to take other, making other changes with their life. We're setting them up for success now. So it's really important that the cleanse is taken the entire time in the program for the full 12 weeks. Of course, we leave a little bit of wiggle room because you're not going to see these videos and lessons in the first week or so. We get you started, you get going with your first few lessons and onboarding and all of that. So we say at least 60 days or longer. So that would be approximately 8 weeks minimum, and shoot for as close to the full 12 weeks as you can, okay? Now, our kids might not understand why they're doing this, and they might not get the importance. And so it's a little bit more tricky for little bodies to get these cleanses in their system. So let's just talk about how to get it in your system if your child doesn't like it. Now, if your child does like it, or they're not being defiant and you're having no issues, way to go. Also, send us a message or post in the group why you had success, because we want to learn from you too. What worked for you so we can share it with other families. So here are some key tips. Number 1, customizing this to meet your child's needs is so important. With the lemon tonic cleanse, you have the recipe and you have the guidance of how to take it, and it's okay to customize it and tailor it to your child. So what do I mean by that? That means we can do it a little bit differently, but we want to ensure that the full amounts of the lemon and ginger and honey are still getting into your child's body. So it may look different on how it gets into your child's body, and you may also need to work your way up to getting it into your child's body as well. And that is okay. So one tip would be to use less water, and you can use a very small amount of water or no water, so that your child has just the smallest little bit to drink instead of a whole big cup of water, so that they can get it down right away very quickly. Now, this works very well for my son, and it didn't used to work very well for him, but he takes the ounce or so of lemon, ginger, and honey mixture with no water at all, and he just takes it very fast, 2 seconds, and he's done. He had to practice that though first. So I had him start with a very small amount, and he got used to it, because what happens is honestly, our taste buds are going to shift. The microbes in our body and on our tongue and in our mouth, they're going to shift so that our body can handle certain tastes better over time, and it won't bother us as much. So it doesn't bother him anymore at all. He does it easily. When he first started, he didn't want to do it. He didn't like it, and it was hard for him. We took baby steps. We were patient with him, and it took time to get him there. And that is okay if that happens for you too, because it's possible for you to have results. Eventually, it just takes consistency. So if it's too sour, it just doesn't taste right, you can add a little bit more of the honey. Okay, if you want to use water, you can dilute the lemon, honey, ginger to more water if your child will drink it. Now, some kids don't want to drink all of that water right away. They'll get a bellyache. And so it depends on your child. Will your child be okay with drinking an entire 8-ounce glass of water or a 16-ounce glass? And so it's diluted, it doesn't taste bad. If it's diluted with water, most kids do seem to like it. It kind of tastes like a lemonade. And so if they can do it that way, you can go ahead and try it with more water. Now, if your child still struggles, remember, baby steps. Okay, so you're going to take about 1/4 of the amount that you were trying, and try that small amount first. Work your way up to 1/2, 3/4, and then till it's the full amount. The point is that you are taking steps, one step at a time, and staying consistent. Okay, now let's just say your child still doesn't want to do it. And if it's more of a defiant thing and they're becoming, they're throwing a tantrum or things are happening, it's just becoming stressful just to get them to take this lemon tonic cleanse, which is supposed to do what? It's supposed to help them with those tantrums, and it's creating more tantrums. I get it. And so that's why we're here. I'm coaching you through this. The thing we want to do is focus on the positive. Okay, we're going to shift into positive. We're not going to give a lot of attention to the negative. So if they're whining and throwing a fit, or I don't want to take it, we're going to ignore. Use the ignore method of the bad behaviors, but acknowledging their feelings. And that's tricky. It's tricky to ignore the bad behavior while we're acknowledging their feelings. Oh my goodness. So how do I do that? Well, okay, your child says, I don't like it, I don't want to take it, okay? And they're throw themselves down on the ground and they throw a huge fit. So what behavior we're ignoring is that they're throwing a huge fit. We don't need to say, you're throwing a huge fit and I hate it when you throw these fits. It stresses me out. This is not how we act. Get up, okay? Avoid. That's how I used to talk as well, and it's hard not to get into that habit. We have to break that habit of saying those things. So we don't need to say that. We say instead, acknowledge the feeling. Don't talk about the behavior going on. Ignore the behavior. Talk about the feeling for a moment and say, I get it that you don't like the taste. I hear you. So you acknowledged. Okay, then you're going to say the word and, because now we're going to focus on the positive. Okay, focus on the positive and focus on the results. Focus on what we want. I'm going to say, and I still want you to trust me that I know what's best for you and that this is like medicine and we have to get it into your body today. Okay? And so you're going to then put the tonic on the counter and say, there it is when you are ready. And walk away. Walk away from the fit and allow your child to calm down. When your child is not calm, they're not going to take this lemon tonic cleanse. And so then, okay, so perhaps you guys have to get out the door. Go out the door. If they're not taking it right now in that moment, go out the door, put it in the fridge, and it will be there when you come home. Or if you're a homeschool parent, maybe, or you're not going anywhere, it's a weekend or whatever it is, you're not going anywhere, just set it down and come back to it in a little bit. So eventually your child is going to ask something of you, and they're going to say, Mommy, I'm hungry. They're going to want something to eat. They're going to want a snack, or it's going to get to be lunchtime, and they're going to need to come to you for that, right? Or you're going to need to come and say, hey, it's time for lunch. Well, before we get to doing lunch, we're going to go back and say, before we do lunch, I remember you, your lemon drink is still on the counter, or it's in the fridge now. So it's time for us to go back and try again. Keywords: try again, try again. You get to try again. Give it that emphasis, okay? So you get to try again. Always allowing your child to try again, to set them up for success. When they didn't get to do it earlier, they failed, right? It seems like they're like a failure. Maybe they feel like you're going to be upset with them. It was not fun. It was hard to take this. Okay, so in that case, you making it positive and giving them that chance to try again is motivational. So you will say, you get to try again. And okay, so before your child has lunch, or does that next activity, it could be we're gonna have them try again to take this lemon cleanse. Now, if they're not doing it, okay, so this is where I would say, bummer, you know what? This is your chance to try again if you don't want to. I hear you and I feel you, I gotta correct myself. We don't say but. And remember to trust me. I know what's best for you. This is like medicine, and you need to get it in your body today. Remember that. So you leave it there, and are you going to go give them that next activity, or give them that snack, or give them that lunch in that moment? No. Are you starving your kid or anything like that? No, of course not. But I encourage you to hold off on the lunch for a little bit, or the snack or the activity for a little bit. Hold off on it. They're not going to die. You're not being a bad parent if you just hold off for a little bit and you say, I need you to get this lemon tonic cleanse in before we have lunch, and then I'll hand you your lunch when you have it, when you're all done taking it. And even if you try half of it, so remember, you can give them little bits at a time to try, a little bit more every day. So even if they try a little bit of it and they get it down, and say they try just a small amount with small amount of the tonic with the lemon, ginger, and honey, but a large amount of water, they barely taste it at all, and they drink the water. however much it means, however much you can get it in their body, and they do it, awesome, lots of praise. All right, now you get your lunch, okay? Now you get your snack. No, now you get your activity we're gonna do. So, doing it where it's like first this, then this. First, you need to get your tonic in, then we can do this, always. And if they're not doing it, it's not a big deal. You can just not give them this that they want until they're ready. We have to hold off. We say, well, I guess we're not ready then. Let me know when you're ready. Just let me know when you're ready. Kids, like they're capable of taking the cleanse. It's really a matter of their mindset and your consistency, because we're not asking them to do anything hard, really. And so this is why it's really important to continue to try to be consistent with it. Now, if your child is so defiant and they're just not going to eat the entire day because they'd rather be that defiant, I'm not telling you to deprive your child of food all day long or anything like that. So a method would be, well, I guess I'm going to serve you just the fruits and vegetables and, just this, the healthiest of healthy stuff, just this stuff only. And you don't get your applesauce, because I know you love that applesauce, or the yogurt or dessert or whatever it is. You don't get that because you didn't take your cleanse. You can always do it that way. So it's kind of like if your child wants candy and they don't brush their teeth, you're going to say, well, you don't brush your teeth and therefore, you're going to get cavities, so I can't give you candy. It's kind of one of those things. So we try to help our child to see that we understand how they feel, we acknowledge them. This is different. Things that are different take time to adjust. Totally get it, okay? We're not going to acknowledge a lot of bad behaviors. We just want to focus and shift our mind toward what we want to see. Walk away and give them space. Let them calm down if they need to. We're trying to continue being consistent, and first having them do the cleanse before they get the extra stuff. It's supposed to be done in the morning, so before they do lunch, and make sure that they're getting that cleanse in. So they did the cleanse, then they're not, or they're refusing to do the cleanse. Maybe you can still give them breakfast, but then, like I said, so then they actually do have some food in their belly. So when you have that opportunity to say, you know what, we're not going to do lunch till you take the cleanse, that they've been fed that day anyway, and that they're going to have to hold off a little bit on the lunch. And then if we've held off for a while and they seem like they just really need to get something to eat, only offering those fruits and vegetables until they take it, and then if it takes more than one day, dinner comes around or the next day comes around, just don't offer the desserts. Feed them their regular meals with all of the necessary proteins and veggies and fruits and all the things in there, but just really do not give desserts out or extra things that they like that are even not dessert, but those anything sugary, no favorite meals, just be consistent that they're not going to have those extra special things until they're taking care of their body properly. So you need to let them know, I need you to trust me. I know what's best for you. And this is like taking a medicine. It's a natural medicine. This is very important to your body. And so we can't have any desserts and things like that. I'm not going to go out of my way to make extra special things for you when you're not taking care of your body properly. I need to see that you're doing that. And so explaining to them in this way how important it is, getting them to understand, while you're also understanding them that it is different and you're doing baby steps, little bits at a time, getting them there. And eventually they're going to take it. They're gonna see it's not so bad after all. They did it once, they can do it twice. They do it twice, it turns into 3 times, 4 times, until it becomes a habit. Every single day they just know mom's not giving in, or dad's not giving in, grandma's not giving in, whoever you are as a caregiver is not giving in, and that this really is important and it's going to become a part of my life now. We want them to know that this is a part of their life now. This is a habit we're instilling into their body as you get up in the morning and you first cleanse your system. It's not taught very much anywhere, in our normal society. So it is different, and it's something we have to get used to doing and making it a part of our life. And in the beginning, it might be tricky, but it won't be that way forever. It can get better, and I believe in you. You can do this. So get your cleanse and get started. All right, I'll see you in the next lesson.